Hello everyone, welcome back. A viewer of the channel, a friend of mine, was kind enough to drop off two SIG 320s. Okay, so this one over here is the M17. Okay, and this one here is the M18. Last time I shot this, I think, was about a year ago from a different friend of mine. I only shot maybe 4 magazines through it. I had shot it maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where I had done a lot more shooting with the gun, but really didn't, like the first time I shot this. Basically I said, okay, it's very Glock like, with a thumb safety, and my initial impressions are, why does this thing have a thumb safety? If Glock doesn't need them, why should SIG have them? At the time, I did not realize that these SIG 320s are fully cocked when you chamber around, versus the Glock, which is partially cocked. So yeah, I mean, I guess you really do need that thumb safety. Now the thumb safety, it's just a trigger block. It doesn't block the sear. Okay, it doesn't block the firing pin. On this one over here, there is no thumb safety. So we've got uh, a fully cocked gun, right, with the firing pin all the way in the rear position, where there's no safety. On this one, we are basically relying completely on the firing pin block, and on the holster, right? The holster is part of the safety mechanism, because when the gun's in the holster, it basically protects the trigger. Okay, so that's an important part of the safety mechanism of the gun. Okay, so now, the SIG 320 has been in the news a lot lately. I've done a couple of videos on it. In this video, in general today, I'm not trying to pass judgment. I'm just basically familiarizing myself, or refamiliarizing myself, with the SIG 320, because, like I said, the last time I shot it was about a year ago. I just did a little bit of shooting. Maybe I shot it 2 or 3 years before that, where I did a lot more shooting. And at that time, I didn't even realize that there was a difference in the cocking mechanism, whereas this is fully cocked versus the Glocks that I was using were partially cocked. So I'm kind of going through this now with more information than I had the first time around. Okay, now I do have an extra grip here. So this grip is basically supposed to go on this one. It gives basically for a concealed carry gun, so you can swap it in. The fire control mechanism comes out of this, flips into that. So that's actually, I've already had it apart. You know what? It's very innovative. I do like the idea. Okay, so in this video, I'm not going to be passing judgment, or even really giving opinions on whether it's the gun safe or not safe. Or I'm just, again, refamiliarizing myself with the gun. I've already done a bit of shooting today, and that's the focus. So here we got one with the thumb safety. That's the M18. It looks like it's got the aftermarket gas pedal here, or slide or takedown, where you can rest your thumb. There's some type of a compensator on this. I don't know if that came from the factory. Like I said, this is not my gun, so I don't know about that. I've already shot it. I shot this one. I shot that one, which doesn't have the compensator on it. I couldn't tell. Like, for me, it didn't make a difference. When I was shooting it, I was just shooting some Tula here. 115 grain bullets. The compensator didn't seem to make a difference, or at least a difference that I could feel. This one over here, without the thumb safety, there's no comp on this. So it's got these red dots on here. These are dot only. So I'm used to shooting the circle dots. This one's not bright. So I think I got this one set a little bit brighter. It's a dot only. Okay. I'm not, again, since this gun is just the loaner, I'm not going to mess with with changing the zero on the red dot, whatever it is. It is, and that's what I'm going to work with. So yeah, let me put this camera up on the tripod, and we'll do a bit of shooting. All right, so let me load some mags here. I'm only putting about 5 or 6 bullets at a time, and we're gonna shoot the M17 without the thumb safety and without the compensator, whatever it is. And then I want to shoot this M18. I really don't know the difference between the two. So that's why I'm just going to keep looking at the guns and reading off of it what it is. I mean, this M18 here, M17 here. I mean, with the comp on this, they're basically almost the same size, exactly the same size. With the comp, without the comp, it would be a little bit smaller. Let me say this. I mean, I've already done a bunch of shooting with the gun. The trigger on this, I mean, yeah, it is a lot less tiring. I mean, compared to my Glocks, which have a, you can feel that, you got the take up. There's the triggers, the brake is a little bit stiffer on it. So with the Glocks, if I shoot like 100 plus rounds, you can start feeling your finger starts getting a little bit tired. With this one over here, it's a much easier trigger. You would be able to do a lot more shooting and not get tired. So I think the goal of this design was basically to build a competition gun, right? Give it a competition trigger for military and and self-defense purposes, right? So and people have argued that competition guns really should stay in the competition, and they shouldn't try to put competition triggers in a self-defense or in a military setting. So that's a debate for a different day. So now one of the things I did do is I have a mallet here. Like I'm picking up the slack, just a tiny little bit of travel here. Okay, going right to the wall, shaking the slide, and yeah, there's no click. I mean, this thing is. Give it a couple light taps with the rubber mallet. I mean, I know some people put the screw in there, right? They put a screw in there to bring it to the wall. I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with my, I feel pretty comfortable that I can hold this right to the wall while I'm tapping this. No issues, with this gun. Let's try the other one. So same thing. Now the slide on this one, this is the M17 without the linear comp. I can tell this has a lot less resistance in the recoil spring. This M18 has a lot more resistance. Right now, again, I don't know how much of this is factory, how much of this is aftermarket, but this recoil spring is definitely stiffer. Okay, that is a stiffer recoil spring. With either one of these, and I did this earlier, holding the trigger back, holding the trigger to the take up rather, and there's just a little bit of take up here. So from what I've been able to gather, when you do that tiny little bit of take up, that basically moves the safety block. Okay, so the take up opens up the safety block, so your firing pin is free to move forward once you take up the slack on that trigger. Do this one. Yeah, same thing here. Wiggling this. Yeah, no issues. I mean, it's holding in place. So again, I'm not in this video. I'm not trying to pass judgment. I'm just refamiliarizing myself with the gun. So let's shoot this. Put my ears on. Close here. That's about 18 yards there. Let's go to 30 yards. So it's a pleasant trigger to shoot. It is a very pleasant trigger to shoot compared to my Glock. No question about that. Now, when I was shooting earlier at 50 yards, these targets are 2 foot tall by 1 foot wide. Even though the trigger is easier to shoot, I really didn't see an improvement at 50 yards. I mean, 50 yards with a handgun, or shooting off-handed, it's kind of tough. So I didn't see that much of an improvement. I'll put a couple of shots here again at 50 yards. Now, the main factor there is me moving. Okay, so the tiny bit of movement that I have is more of an issue at 50 yards than the trigger being like super smooth. Okay, so the super smoothness of the trigger is not making up for the fact that I've got a little bit of movement at 50 yards. At 30 yards, it's not an issue. That little bit of movement is not a problem. I can hit the target at 30 yards. 50 yards, that's where it becomes a problem. And if I shoot like my Glock 17, it's got a stiffer trigger. I don't do that much better, right? But again, the main issue there is that a tiny bit of movement. Let's try this other gun here with the linear comp. Magazine loaded. Let's shoot the 18 yards over here. Let's go to 30 yards. A little bit more. Only thing that comp on it, I could definitely feel more of the blast. I'm feeling a little bit more of the blast versus the other gun that didn't. Yards, no problem. Like I said, I could feel my hair blowing up a little bit. Let's go back to the other one. Let's go to 30 yards. I personally don't see a major advantage in comp. What is giving me a major advantage is that butter smooth trigger. I mean, SIG did do the thing that they set out to do. They made a gun with a beautiful competition trigger, really easy, not tiring on your finger, a lot of fun to shoot. Now let's talk about the safety on here. And this is the same feeling I had the first time I shot this gun. That safety, it's small. It's not like a 1911 safety. And if your hands are sweaty, I mean, I can easily see them slipping off of it. So when you hold this, basically, you put your thumb on the gas pedal. Your thumb is basically supposed to ride on top of that safety. That's how you know it's off. And you can definitely feel the edge biting into your thumb as you ride on top of it. And the way they designed this, there's like really no place. It has to go there. On 1911s, a lot of times people put their thumb underneath it. Here it has to go on top of it. So they designed the gun really good in the sense that you have to shoot it with your thumb on the safety. So you're going to be sure that it's going to be off. Okay. This gas pedal here, it's really nice. That's a really nice rest Again, I suspect that's an aftermarket, but that's probably worth it. I mean, that feels really, really good. This is the first time I'm shooting a pistol that has a thumb rest that's that big, and I really like it. What optic is this? This is, it's a SIG. It says SIG, but it doesn't tell me the model number, so and I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that important. It's a SIG optic. It's a dot only, so dot only is a dot only. Battery compartment is on top, so you can change it without losing a zero. Let's do this. Let's take the gun apart, and we're going to switch. So to take this apart, I'm going to lock this back. We're going to flip this all the way around like that. Okay. Pull this apart. So, one of the interesting features about this SIG design is that the that's right there. That's the lug, the firing pin lug. Well, right next to it, lock the safety pin plunger. You push up on this, and it pushes the safety block out of the way. Forgot what you call it. Let me take out. Oh, actually, we can't take the barrel out because of the linear cap. But I'm gonna put this down for a second. So if I push forward on that lug, it doesn't come through unless I push up, push down on that safety pin. There you go. And now the firing pin will come through. And then when you pull it back. So one of the things that people have pointed out is that take up when you push back on a trigger, that actually opens up the pin block. So a lot of people have said that it opens up too early, right? It should be a little further back. Basically, your finger should have to travel a lot further back before the block opens up. So again, I'm not going to pass judgment on whether that's good or bad in this video, but I did want to just point it out. So we're going to be able to. Yeah, we're all going to be able to get it on. All right, so well, in order to take the fire control mechanism out, basically we're going to turn this. Pull this guy out. Hold on, guy. So that's the locking mechanism that locks the slide in place. And pull this guy out. You lift up, and then you pull forward. Okay, so this is the gun. This is the part with the serial number. Okay, and that's, you can see how the I was looking at this earlier. You can see how the thumb safety is there. Now that's only when it's up. That's only a trigger block. Okay, it doesn't block the serial. When it's down, it can move more. So let's see what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it into this grip. Now this I did not do this earlier, so this is my first time doing this. So the back goes in first. Okay, that goes there. So now let's all right, so let's match these two up. So that has to be open. Okay. So from what I saw, you gotta use the slide lock in the back. Lock it in place first, then close the whatever you get. This is the takedown lever. Close it. So let's do the same thing. I'm gonna pick up the slack on this, wiggle. There's no movement. Let's do the mount test. Yeah, I'm just going. So with this tiny grip and this sphere, this thing is like really front heavy. Really nice trigger. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I gotta give them credit for that. These guys set out to build a gun with a beautiful trigger, and they did that. They accomplished that really well. So this takes these small mags. All right, let's load this mag up. It's nice. It's freaking nice. I don't like that gigantic heavy top in the front. Definitely throws the weight forward. Let's go to 30 yards. Seems to be having a little more trouble at 30 yards with this, probably because of a small grip. Do it again. Yeah, without minus this heavy thing over here, I think this is a beautiful compact carry gun. Let's undo it. Let's put this thing back where it belongs. Nothing in there. So again, the takedown on this. Lock this back. Rotate this. Bring that forward. Got that out. Came out easier that time. Side. So you pull this out from the front. There we go. Out. So this is genius. I mean, I gotta give SIG credit. Now I own the similar, internal chassis. This seems, now it might be because that one has a hammer. This one seems like, I actually think this is probably strong, like more robust. The one with the hammers, like a lot of times I'll look at it. It might have been like this spring over here. I looked at it, I'm like, it looks like something that's gonna fall off. But I think I do like the 320 chassis. I mean, I do like it. I mean, I think it's a genius idea that they did. Let's put you back in here. So again, you gotta push. See this end over here? That's gotta go in the back. That's gotta click in place. It doesn't click. It just gotta lock in place. Then you gotta push the trigger in a little bit to just clear it, and then push down. And see this the slide's got this horizontal. You got to kind of match that up. Although I think it's less of an issue on this one. I think it was more of an issue on the smaller one. There it goes. There we go. Okay. Rotate this back, bring that in, lock it, flip this, function test. shoot this one. Which one do I like better? Well, these two, this M18 and this M17, they're basically, because of the comp, they're like almost the same exact size. It looks like they added like an aftermarket magazine funnel here. I've never used them, but you know, it makes the gun feel bigger. Let's shoot this one. Actually, let's do this. Again, I'm trying to get an idea of that compensator. Is it really making a difference or not? So I do like that the slide release is like ambidextrous on both sides. The gas pedal's only on one side, but they've got ambidextrous slide releases on both of them. And then the thumb safety is also ambidextrous on both sides. With all the stuff that's going on in the news, I don't know how I would feel about carrying this 320 without the thumb safety. Because like I said, originally I thought the thumb safeties were kind of like redundant because Glocks don't have them. But yeah, ever since I learned that these things are fully cocking, it's like, yeah, I think we need that thumb safety. But anyway, I want to shoot these two side by side. Okay, I love optics are great, man, for that kind of stuff. I want to see how set the brightness of this thing. I'm trying to see if there's a difference with that linear comp. That one's dead. Now it might be just the way I was holding it. It seemed like when I was shooting this, I could feel a little bit more vibration in my trigger finger. I didn't feel it earlier, but I think I kind of felt it this time. But yeah, it just could have been. But yeah, as far as the link comp, like I was shooting these two side by side, I couldn't tell the difference. It might be that the sheer weight of this M17 with the longer slide is, you know, the mass is picking up more of the recoil, whereas this one here with the compensator, you know, the compensator's picking up, you know, the felt recoil. They felt the same to me. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of compensators. I haven't been able to see a difference. So initial impressions. Again, I mean, I've shot this before a year ago and then 2 or 3 years before that. Assuming that, like, I had no idea of any of the stuff that's going on in the news with these supposed uncommanded discharges, which are, again, are coming back into question because there was some issue, I think, with one of the people that made a report that they didn't give accurate information. So anyway, assume that's none of that's going on. I don't know anything about that. Shooting these pistols, it's like I really like it, right? Which is that was the impression that I got the very first time I shot this. I thought it was a really good gun to shoot. The first time I shot it, I'm like, what's up with this stupid thumb safety? Like I said, I think we'll keep it on this. It does add, you know, issues with like right now, just trying to activate that thumb safety. You know, it's not easy. It's small. See how I got to push up on it? But especially to put it, like, getting it off is not a problem. Getting it on is more of an issue. So it's easy to push down on it, not so easy to push up on it. So again, that's why one of the reasons I didn't like the thumb safety. Um, uh, so that's first issue. The issue I had the first time I shot this remains an issue here. It's just I don't like the thumb safeties if I can get away with not having them. The trigger on this, awesome. Okay, the first time I shot this a few years back, I didn't know it was fully cocking. I didn't know the reason why it was such a easy trigger, and now I understand it's because it's a fully cocking trigger. So yeah, it's basically like a 1911. So yeah, it makes sense. Fully cocked trigger is going to be a lot easier to shoot. Um, so my impression is like the first time I shot this, my feeling was really cool gun. I think they were charging like $700-800 back then. I'm like, you know what, really good gun, very Glock-like gun. No, I'm not paying $700-800. I've just got so many Glocks and P80s I have built that I don't need another one. That was my impression the first time I shot this. If it was something like $300, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I gotta have this gun, you know. So that was my impression like 4 or 5 years ago, 3-4 years ago, when I shot this. My impression now, having refamiliarized myself with the gun, is pretty much the same. Okay, I don't like the safety, right? The thumb safety. It's easier to take off, not so easy to get on. And my main issue, again, ignoring everything that's been happening in the news, my main issue is the price. Okay, it's a lot of money. Okay, I love the internal chassis. I love the design of this, where you can take that chassis out, put it into a different grip. Absolutely love it. But yeah, I'm not ready to throw $800 on this. Okay, that's my initial opinion. I haven't shot this again now after some time. I'm gonna have this tomorrow. So I'm gonna do a little bit more shooting tomorrow. But I just kind of wanted to get that out there. First day shooting with this, how I felt about it. Yeah, I think it's a really cool gun. I really like it. I really like where they, the innovative design of the internal chassis. I really love that. So anyway, drop some comments. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you all soon.